So Konami's been on a bit of a trend recently of actually creating decent content, and today's latest box was no exception. So today's video is going to be focused on the main art type from that box, Galaxy Eyes. Now honestly, I wasn't exactly sure how I wanted to build Galaxy Eyes this time around, considering there's actually so many different variants you can build of the deck now, especially considering they now have two really good skills for the archetype. So I went ahead and checked out the Duel Links meta Discord to see what kind of concoctions the people over there were creating. And after spending a bit of time checking out what deck lists they were posting in there, it's safe to say, this deck list isn't looking like anything that I thought it would. I think the best way for me to describe just what Galaxy Eyes might look like after this latest update is to say, imagine if you asked Konami the question, how many spell cards should I be running in my Galaxy Eyes deck? And they responded with, yes. So here's today's deck list. Now just a reminder before I go through the deck list, if you're enjoying today's content, finding it useful in any way, or just want to see more content like this, make sure to let me know by leaving a like on today's video and considering subscribing to the channel down below. I will be making new content based on the latest box over the upcoming days, including Burning Abyss and maybe even Spellbook, so if you're interested in that stuff, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Alright, so today's deck list is built entirely around the brand new skill Xyz Galaxy. Now this skill has a couple different effects, both of which are activated by simply sending a Galaxy monster from deck or from hand straight to the graveyard. So the first effect simply puts a number 90 Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord straight into your extra deck. Now this card is way too broken for Duel Links, hence it's attached to a skill, because if it wasn't, Galaxy Eyes might become a little bit too strong. So this card takes 2 level 8 monsters. If this card is a Photon card as material, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So keep in mind it already has 3000 defense, so 3000 defense and can't be destroyed by card effects. It's a pretty damn hard card to get rid of. Basically it has 2 monster effects. When an opponent's monster activates its effect, quick effect, you can attach one material from this card to negate that monster's effect, and if the attached material was a Galaxy card, you can then destroy that card as well. So it's a non-target negate that can also destroy cards as well. Its other effect, which keep in mind both these effects can be used during the same turn, during your opponent's turn as a quick effect, you can take one Photon or Galaxy card from your deck and either add it to your hand, or attach this card as material for even more future negates. The other use of the skill is to turn any of your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragons basically into one card Xyz monsters. You can send one Galaxy card in your hand to the graveyard, that's on top of the other Galaxy card you have to send already to activate the skill. If you Xyz summon a Galaxy Eyes Xyz monster with 4000 or more attack this turn, you can also Xyz summon it by just using a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon you control. As for the deck list itself, this deck is based around getting your Photon Lord out on turn 1, basically whenever you want it, and the easiest way to do that is just run a shit ton of revival effects. Cards like Shuffle Reborn, cards like Galaxy Zero, and cards like Monster Reborn. This is because your skill can just put Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from deck straight into the graveyard, basically whenever. Then if you have a bunch of revival effects, you can just bring that monster back, combine it with your new cards like Galaxy Knight or your cards like Galaxy Wizard, and you can make your rank 8 with destruction protection on turn 1 nearly every duel. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the decklist portion of the video. The rest of the video will be gameplay with commentary showcasing the decklist in action, and without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so for those of you curious as to what this deck's win rate was, it was pretty damn insane. I think I went 12 wins and 3 losses with a small amount of testing I did, which is like an 80% win rate, so obviously a very decent scoreline. So if you're looking for a deck to climb to King of Games with, especially late season, this deck would easily do it for you. Like I did this without any practice with this deck list, without trying any deck testing beforehand, so right out the gate, 80% win rate is obviously pretty damn insane. I'm sure with plenty of practice you could even raise that win rate even higher. Alright, so let's get into the actual replays. So the first replay is against Saga. Now this guy, I remember what he was playing. So this guy was using the Phantom Knight character, but then was playing Pendulum, so not sure about that one. I think he's the Phantom Knight character. It's been a while since I actually opened Duel Links, so alright. So this isn't exactly the most exciting replay because it doesn't show off like much, I don't know, much disruption. He doesn't run much like removal or anything like that. His back row was I think just baiting MSTs. The whole purpose of this replay was to show how much this deck can pop off. This deck can help destroying like 4 cards in one turn without going to battle phase, which is pretty damn mental. Alright, so obviously sets 2 back row, has a bunch of monsters on board, and hopes that's enough to keep him alive. So we first of all use our skill to put Xyz Photon Dragon straight in the graveyard. This also of course puts our monster straight in the extra deck. Then we activate Shuffle Reborn to bring back the Xyz Photon Dragon from the graveyard. Now that this card is on the board, we can normal summon this card without tributing. Then we use the 2 monsters on board to Xyz summon straight into Xyz Cipher Dragon, which effect we don't need to use because we're simply going to rank it up into Xyz Full Armor Photon Dragon. This card can then attach a material to destroy 1 card on the board, 1 face-up card. Then we can Xyz summon again straight into Cipher Blade Dragon. You can then just target any card on the board and destroy it. And because we have a monster Reborn in hand, we can bring back one of the Xyz monsters we just used. And we can rank it up once again, because these cards aren't hard once per turns. So we can bring out Full Armor again, pop another card, rank it up again, and then pop yet another card. Swing in, and he just is dead. So yeah, that's kind of like the dream hand for this. We even had a Forbidden Lance, so even if his back row was annoying, I'm sure we still would have ended up with a pretty decent turn anyway. Alright. Gameplay number 2. You definitely won't be getting that kind of a game every single time. That's just kind of like the peak of this deck. Monster Reborn is so good in this deck. The fact you can detach materials and then just reuse them for more Xyz summoning is just mental. Alright, so this time we're going first, and this will show you basically what this deck does going first every single time. It's pretty self-explanatory. You want your new Xyz monster out. So Xyz Galaxy, you can put Photon Dragon in grave. We're going to put our Galaxy Wizard on board. Galaxy Wizard contributes itself to search for a card. We search for our Galaxy Zero. This card can then revive our monster. Now we didn't actually have to do this. We could have left the Galaxy Zero in deck. This is a bit of deck thinning. Because we could have just used our Galaxy Wizard, made it level 8, then used our Galaxy Expedition to bring a monster straight out from the deck anyway. So we didn't actually have to do this, but this is a bit of deck thinning as well. So Galaxy Zero are going to be reviving the Photon Dragon. Next position can bring out a level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster straight from the deck. In this case, the Galaxy Knight, which we can Xyz summon into our Lord, putting it in defense position and setting our double Book of Moon. Could negate his Stratos, but we didn't care too much. We have double Book of Moon, so I'm not exactly feeling very threatened right now. Miracle Fusions. This guy was playing the Flame Swordsman stuff, which you would have seen in my channel a few weeks ago. It was actually a pretty good deck list, a very fun deck list anyway. We can Book of Moon that, so he can't beat over our guy. During the end of the turn, just as he's ending his turn, we're going to search for a Galaxy Wizard, and instead of putting it under our card, we're just going to search for it so we can use it. Alright. Gonna summon out a Galaxy Cipher Blade Dragon on top of our monster, so that way if he has any back row, he'll remove our stuff, and then we just set up lethal anyway. Blade Dragon to target the back row, he had nothing anyway. So summon the Galaxy Knight, using the monster we just attached, because Galaxy Knight on summon can actually bring back specifically Galaxy Photon Dragon from graveyard. So our Cipher Blade, put it in the graveyard so we could, bring it back. Then because we activated our skill, which sent a Galaxy card straight from hand to the graveyard, we can now use this card as a 1-card Xyz material to summon out a Photon guy and then summon out a Blade Dragon. He unfortunately had a princess, so we couldn't lethal him this turn. But we still have Book of Moon, so I think we're good. I'm getting text messages as I'm trying to record, that's very helpful. Alright, this guy summons out his Flame Wingman. We still have Book of Moon, so we don't care. I'm gonna flip that face down so we don't take 1 trillion burn damage. Destroy both monsters on board, and swing in for lethal. Even with a bacon saver, he's just dead. Alright, on to game 3. Yeah, I think this deck has a very high chance, or maybe not this specifically, this deck list, but Galaxy Eyes as a whole has a very good chance of becoming tiered in one way or another. I suspect there might even be some 30 card deck list going around, or 24 card deck list going around too. Which generally tends to happen when you have a deck list that's insanely consistent. You can just kind of run whatever you like. Alright. So Xyz Galaxy, same stuff again. Galaxy 0, going to be reviving the card. Activating Galaxy Expedition, summoning out Galaxy Knight, and Xyz summoning into our Lord. Putting him in defense position, and setting our Lance. Now, obviously, the reason we're running Lance is because the main weakness of this deck list is your turn 1, if you don't draw Book of Moon, you only have this guy's Disruption. So if your opponent has a Book of Moon, you just lose the game instantly, and that card is obviously very common. So, Forbidden Lance counters the Book of Moon, especially considering our monster's in defense anyway, so the attack reduction means nothing, so... Activate the Lance in response, so if he has any kind of activated removal, will be protected. Activate the Vega. Activate our monster effect to negate it. Now keep in mind, our monster effect is a non-target negate, so he activates his Satellar Knight Sky Bridge to swap it over, but it doesn't matter, we still get the negate effect off. And also we just search for this card for next turn anyway. Yeah, so it still gets negated. Deneb searches for a Vega, so that's a trap card and passes the turn. So first thing we do, summon out a full armor Photon Dragon again, activate its effect to destroy a card. He goes to negate it. This doesn't matter to us because we can just swap it over, summon out a Cipher Blade, and destroy his monster anyway. Next, Xyz Galaxy, we're going to do some cool stuff here, but our opponent already conceded, so... Alright, final gameplay. So the final gameplay was against Blue Eyes. Now this replay was to showcase this deck if it has a brick hand, which is, by the way, pretty damn rare. Alright, so basically the only time this deck bricks is if going first, you're not able to summon your Xyz monster, because then, yeah, if you can't summon your brand new Xyz monster, your turn 1 plays are pretty damn bad. So, with a hand like this, even if we can put our Galaxy Eyes in graveyard, we can't get out 2 monsters to do it, so we're just kind of stuffed. Thankfully we had 2 Book of Moons, so we still felt pretty safe anyway. Alright, Cards of Consonance into another Cards of Consonance. Spoiler alert, this guy's starting hand was bonkers. He's in a Melody, searching for his alternative, and a Blue Eyes. Summon his alternative, and on top of that, he had 3 setback row to deal with. So we're going to Book a Moon so we don't take as much damage, and then he passes the turn. Oh, summons out a Blue Eyes first. Which, by the way, was the standard Blue Eyes, which tells us he has no more Spirit Dragon, so we would have tried to Spirit Dragon our monster. Alright, so Xyz Galaxy, you're going to be sending a Galaxy card from hand and 1 from deck, so that now we can use any Galaxy Eyes monster, or sorry, our Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as a 1-card Xyz monster. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to activate Shuffle Reborn to revive not our Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, because I know Blue Eyes runs Karma Card, so I'm trying to bait it out. So I summon my Galaxy Knight to see if he'd use it, and he did, which was so nice. I can then activate Shuffle Reborn in graveyard to shuffle a card on field into the deck to draw a card, which drew a godlike draw of a Forbidden Lance. Best draw in my deck. Meaning I can activate my Galaxy 0 to revive my Galaxy Eyes. Use Legacy Break, we can then protect our monster from our own destruction effects from our continuous spell to make sure our guy doesn't die even though he destroys the continuous. And because we activated the skill earlier, we can now use this card as a solo Xyz material to summon out our full armor to destroy a card, then go into Cipher Blade and destroy another card. And beat over his thing. And from this point on, it was a pretty free win, because he has all 3 Blue Eyes in the graveyard, so he can't really do a whole lot. He has to win with, I don't know, stones or something. Alright, so Galaxy Wizard tributing itself for Galaxy 0. This way we can revive one of the Xyz monsters to Xyz summon over it. Go into Cipher Blade, and from here I think he just concedes. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's replays. I hope you guys enjoyed them. If you did, remember to leave a like, and please consider subscribing to the channel down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.